morning. Rained 10th here this morning. No big deal. Helping Dad do some work in the wood shop here. Working on my floor for my house. So we're trimming some boards up for the floor. Show you what we're doing. So these are the boards that just came off the planer.
Yes.
And you're doing what?
I'm cutting them to the length, trying to take the curve out of them. And they're awful long to do flooring, so we're cutting them into 2, 4, 6, 8 length.
Right. Cutting stuff like this corner's got this bark.
Cut off. So that when we get the right width, that'll be gone. And then I'm looking for knots. The knots sort of distort the board, make it curve, so we're trying to cut it off so we can run them through the planer and make a straight edge. And then we can get the width right, and then we can tongue and groove them.
Okay. So you ready to cut that one?
This one?
Not yet.
I gotta figure out where I'm going.
Okay, so he's figuring out his cuts. And once he gets that done, he brings it over here to his radial arm saw. We'll watch that in a minute. Okay, so he knows where he wants to cut it, so we'll bring it over here. And then he stacks them over there for me for the next step. This isn't a crucial measurement, just get them close. Scraps.
You want me to plane them?
No, that's all right.
Okay.
So then he sets them there, and we need to get a straight edge on them. So they're planed, but the edges are still rough cut from the sawmill. So we'll run them through this joiner here, which squares the edge and straightens the edge. So we end up with a board like other side, like that one, where the edge is straight, flat, and smooth.
And then we can cut the uneven part off.
Right, and then this side here is all wavy, and you can see that. So
From a dull saw blade on the
sawmill blade. So he's using the table saw to cut that other edge up and get it straight. Use your pusher stick. And then we've got a nice square, flat, smooth, even floorboard.
Then we can tongue and groove.
Tongue and groove it, right. So we're setting them on the pile over here. This is the pile that is squared up, good boards that after we're done here, he'll run them through his rotor table to tongue and groove them. Look at these. Look at him. I mean, just beautiful. Quarter sawn white oak. Some of them are quarter sawn, some of them. And there's some that got some knots. We can hide those in a pantry or refrigerator space. But these boards are just beautiful. Look at that grain. Beautiful boards. All right, well, we got through most of that pile. I'm gonna walk in the garage here. He's got some boards that he tongue and grooved and are a little more finished. Not finished, but ready to be installed, I guess. I was gonna show you. So there's a whole pile of beautiful boards here. I mean, they're just, look at Look at this. You got some with some face grain. We've got some edge grain stuff. I mean, they're just beautiful boards. So he's piling them in here. The plan is to get the rest of those done, tongue and grooved. So the tongue and groove here, I'll show you. You can see on one side it's got this tongue on it. On the other side, the groove, the slot for it to fit into. So those will all lock together really nice when we install them. But anyway, plan is to get the rest of those boards that we were cutting up today tongue and grooved and finished up, and then we're going to probably stack these back in the kiln room for a little while. He had them dried down. They were down to 6% moisture, but they've picked up some in the humidity in the summer here. So we'll throw them back in the kiln room for a month or two until my house is sealed up a little bit better, and then we can take them and stack them in the basement there and let them get acclimated before we're ready to install them in the kitchen there. All right, well, I spent a little time nailing down some of the soybean varieties and stuff for next year here this morning. Soybeans are a lot easier than corn. There's just not as many options. You're going to plant the ones that are in the maturity range that you want, and that's pretty much it. So, and you're going to use a lot more of them, bigger quantities, which is also good. Anyway, I'm going to go back to my little woodworking project here a little bit, but I need some finish, floor. We're trying to nail down the stain and the finish and everything that's going to go on this stuff, and so I'm going to run to Menards, Lowe's, something, and get some supplies to be able to do that, and get some lunch and whatever. And then when we get back down in the garage at the new house, they've got some of the cutoffs and extra pieces of stuff, and they actually have a chunk of that Durastrand flooring that's like 3 foot square or something like that, and a couple of I-joists down there that I'm gonna make up a mock section of floor, get it nice and smooth, and then we can nail some of these boards down on top of it and sand them and finish it, and I can show my wife and say this is what it's gonna look like. So we're gonna do that. Those mud flaps on that truck are they're quite bright when the sun glares off of them just right. All right, I am back at the farm here. We had taken some boards and made some samples. The lighting in here is not very good before, with some different stains on it and stuff, along with, like, well, this one here is a sample of flooring that we liked from we're trying to match or replicate, you know. So we're trying to narrow down what color stain we want to use. Been getting little sample cans. The problem was these don't have any finish on them, so I needed a can of that to put it on there. And then Dad had made up some of these bigger samples here, this piece, but he just glued it to some little real thin subfloor stuff. So I thought if I take this I-joist here and this chunk of subfloor and make up a little mock floor, we can nail the boards right to that, and it'll be just like the floor is in the house, and then we can maybe even quarter it off and do a couple of different stains. I can put the finish over the whole thing. We can sand it down, get it real smooth, and then we can see exactly what we're going to end up with. But for the moment, we've got a little other projects to do. They're back over in the field tiling after this morning's rain. I didn't think they would be there today, but Dad's over there with the backhoe, and he called me and said, hey, they want to work down the main tile line. So they ran the 8-inch main off of that 12-inch that they had found, the existing main, kind of an 8-inch sub main. And with the plow, it mounds the ground way up, and it's not fun to work over, drive over, cross at all. So they asked if we could work it down. So we're going to hook up our little ripper. We got an old 512 John Deere ripper that's a 5-shank. We're going to hook that up to the 8R so that we can work that down. I don't know if we can do that today, maybe, but we're going to get it hooked up and go over there and see what things look like. We'll take the gator over. All right, well, we haven't driven this for a while. I haven't driven any tractor. Well, I guess I did smaller ones. Big tractors, primary tractors we haven't done anything with for a while, since we unhooked the grain cart over there. Dad said something about putting the 8300 on this ripper, and I said, well, I can do that, but it's hooked up to the air seeder yet, which I assume fairly soon Phil is going to want to put in the shop so that he can start going through it and getting it ready for wheat harvest. We're going to rebuild a fair amount on it, I think. And this tractor, once I put a GPS receiver back in here, or a display, it'll be much easier to map the tile lines with. We like to use our GPS and make maps on the tile lines so that we can know where everything is at in the future. See if I can get this hitch pin to work like it's supposed to. If I can get it lined up right anyway. Nope, didn't get it. Oh well. It's supposed to be, if you get it lined up just right, when you back up and hit the tongue on that bar there, it pushes the handle down and then drops the pin and it hooks itself up, but I missed. Well, still not lined up right. Close. There we go. Just a little brute force. A couple hydraulic lines, an electric line, and we'll pull her up and around the shop. I think even all the tires have air in them. I don't know that we used this at all last year. Maybe, but I don't remember it being used. Not flat, but they do need a little bit of air. Looking at our ripper points, and they don't look to be in too bad a shape. The ones on the 2730, the big ripper, are about shot, so I called somebody about getting another set of points for that. So those would be good. We just need to go through and grease it. There's a grease zerk on every shank and some on the disc gangs that we got to go through. Aw, of course the one I want to film is the one where the grease gun runs empty, and the second to last one on the whole ripper. All right, let me try this again. Last one. There you go. All right, that should be ready to go. The only thing it needs is a display in the tractor to map the tile lines, but I don't know if we need that right now anyway. So I'm gonna run over to the field, see what it looks like, see if he wants me to bring it over there now, or wait, or what, I don't know. It's getting humid and muggy and out again, so maybe there's gonna be another line of storms roll through here. Well, they did get started. I assume they did that yesterday. There's some stuff they maybe dug today. And they're putting their laser up, so I assume that means they're gonna do some tile in here. So the main, this one must be the main here. They tapped into this 12 somewhere right in here. Yeah. I'll explain in a second. Dad's working on his trees over here. Just trying to push the edges of the field back, maybe smooth out some of these jagged corners so it's a little easier to farm and stuff here. So that tile he's digging up now is a 6-inch main that comes in and tees in over here. And they're going to run 4-inch laterals off of that. And then the other one that comes across and goes up that way is an 8. And they're going to run 4s off of that one as well. There's just more water coming through this one, which is why it's a bigger tile. So they want me to knock this down and level it up so that it's easier to drive across and get their start holes dug and everything. You can see right there is their next start hole. And yeah, that blue T right there, that's the 8 they just installed a day or two ago. It runs down this trench, and then they'll tie into there, and then they're going to run them on an angle, I guess. So it's a little easier to get them worked down and not bounce across so bad next year when we're farming this. We are going to go get the disc ripper. Where them tile lines are, the dirt's not muddy. It's damp, but we'll be able to break it apart. We're not doing a lot. It's mostly just muddy underneath where the windrows were, the straw. There's a lot of chaff and stuff, and for what we need to do or what they want done, that isn't going to hurt anything, so we're going to go get it. All right, I am not going to bother with a display and mapping it today because we're only working down really that one tile line. We can just work it again and make the map, the line. Basically, we create flag layers, and we'll do that when we work the rest of the tile lines down the whole field. Plus, the display that I want to use in this tractor to do so is in the 7520, and I'm not quite done with it there, so I'm not ready to take it out of that tractor yet. What's that thing? I mean, it's the wrong color, but it's a pretty sweet tractor. I will give them that. Okay, first primary tillage of the year. I haven't done any of this for a long time. Not that we're doing very much now, but hey, it's something, right? Tractor seat time is always a good thing. Unless it's replanting corn, then no bueno. I don't like it at all. Well, let's set it in the ground here. It's gonna be a rough ride here, bouncing on top of these tile lines. Nothing I can do about that, so we're just gonna go slow and try and level them off the best we can. Like so. Oh, too fast. Better, and it's doing a pretty darn good job. We might hit it down and hit it on the way back. We'll be good to go. Well, you can really see that ILS, the independent link front suspension, flexing as we go up and down these bumps from the tile lines. At least, I mean, I can. I don't know if you can see it on the video very good. Well, there he goes, getting started plowing. I'm thinking tomorrow we're gonna make a video about drain tile. All right, I've done what I needed to do, so I'm just gonna run this one back up lightly and head back to the farm. We thought about leaving the tractor here to do more of these, but we're close. The farm's right there. There's no reason to leave the tractor in the field. So I think tomorrow, like I said, we'll do a more talk about field tile stuff. So if you have questions about field tile, make sure you leave them down below. But I'll come over here and I'll film them where the plowing, some of the start hole stuff, talk about how we lay the pattern out, and sizing the tile and why and where and how and all of that kind of good stuff. Because yeah, that'll be something different for tomorrow and somewhat exciting. It's funny how, you know, yesterday or the last couple days I feel like I've had nothing to put in these videos, and then today I feel like it's been a good one with the woodworking stuff with Dad, and I don't want to overshadow that with tile stuff, so we'll do that tomorrow, and all of a sudden I got a couple good ones. But anyway, back to the farm. Okay, well, I thought about going to spray some aphids and kill them, but it's a little too windy for that. There's not really any rain imminent tonight, but it may rain, who knows. If it doesn't rain between now and tomorrow morning, we'll plan on tomorrow morning going and trying to finish the aphids off. Or at least the chemical that we've got. I also probably should go to Berkey, but I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow because tile stuff, and I've got some appliances supposed to be getting delivered tomorrow, and you know how their delivery windows are. Sometime between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. they'll be there. So we got to be around, at least until that's done. So I'm going to work on my floor sample. Let's build a platform. Well, this is absolutely overkill, but I have the materials, so we're going to do it. So I've got our flooring there, I've got some rim board, and I've got some I-joists. And I cut them to length, and we're going to stick them in there and glue them and nail them, and then we'll have a subfloor that we can nail some of those floorboards to. Well, put that project on hold. Dad needs me to come pick me up. Something, I heard something, backhoe tire, come pick me up. Okay.
You might have one.
Something's missing. Broken valve stem. Well, after this will be the third time we filled up the tanks. We can't get the bead to seat on it. Just didn't think about it the first time over, so we tried it, didn't work. Then went back, took a bunch of bead sealer and straps and stuff, and that didn't work either. So we decided we have to figure out how to get more volume, air volume. So we rigged up some hoses to get it directly out of the tank without going through a air chuck with a valve stem core. Might work better, but it's 5:30. I have to go. I have preschool open house tonight, and it's very important. Trust me. So I have to go there. So Dad's going to see if he can get it fixed. If not, the guys doing our tiling have a giant 185 cubic foot per minute air compressor. They can just bring it tomorrow. That'll work. So thanks for watching today. I didn't get my floor project stuff over there finished up, but we got a lot of boards planed off. That was good. Oh, GoPro. Don't forget to take the GoPro. Tomorrow, like I said, we'll try and film some of them tiling a little bit. That'll be pretty interesting. We may spray, we may not. We may go to Berkey, we may not. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, so I've got my appliance coming. Appliances, it's an oven microwave combo thing. So I gotta be here for that. If we get a chance, we'll go to Berkey, look at beans down there, see how wet it is, all the stuff. Time-lapse footage from this morning on there. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow.